Peter, good to see you. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking through 5 things to consider before relocating in retirement. Retirement offers such a great opportunity for new beginnings and adventures. Maybe that means moving to the beach or the mountains. Maybe it means downsizing or moving closer to family. But before you move, Peter, you suggest you consider 5 things. First, of course, is your cost of living. This is essential to figuring out if your retirement savings are going to last.
Well, yeah, and downsizing doesn't necessarily mean down pricing. If you
Mm,
are moving somewhere and you envision this being your forever home and aging in this home, a lot of times you want the latest, greatest, newest features. You need to make it aging accessible. And the price of newer homes compared to older homes is inflated. And so I have seen people go in to half the square footage for double the price per square foot and not net out like this profit that they imagined getting. And then where you relocate to obviously matters as well. Here in North Carolina, we used to have a very reasonable cost of living. That also has inflated pretty significantly because people heard about it and wanted to move here. But if you go to other areas, they are in many cases even more expensive than the cost of living here locally or in North Carolina. So if you are moving at all, you've got to really examine what is the cost of living, what is the cost for housing. Are you buying an existing home and fixing it up? Are you building new? Are you moving to a retirement community? All of these kind of things go into these factors because in retirement, we've got this finite amount of money. We want to take these adventures and make memories, but we've got an unknown amount of time that we've got to make that money last.
right.
And we've always got those healthcare concerns toward the end of life that we need to keep some kind of piggy bank or have a plan for. So it is important that you do look at the cost of living in your intended retirement living situation.
Right. And you just mentioned number two, healthcare, not only access to healthcare, but cost of healthcare.
Right. And cost of healthcare is an item that is inflating at a more rapid pace than
Right.
even other costs, which seem to be inflating very rapidly. But the access to care is actually something personally that I am aware of. My mom retired and moved out to the coast. She was on the Pamlico Sound in North Carolina, right Bath, Bellhaven area. And if you know that area at all, it's pretty remote. And in fact, where she was at, if you left by boat for the first half hour or so, you ran into more population and more houses than if you left by car. And to get to doctors, or if there was some kind of emergency for an ambulance to get there, it could have been easily 25, 30 minutes or more.
Wow.
And then she was taking hour long trips to get to hospitals and doctor visits and even routine care. So
Right.
they loved it for a little while, but then they decided, hey, as we are aging, we may be a little bit more remote and away from that healthcare than we really like. So they relocated again, and now they're down in the southern part of coastal North Carolina, much closer access to care, and they are really liking that aspect of it. Plus, they've built a little bit better social community.
Okay. Well, you were just ticking through all these right ahead of me. Number three is, of course, your social support network. As you mentioned, though, sometimes when you move, you leave behind a support system, which makes the transition into retirement even more difficult.
Yeah, and I think for my mom and her husband, when they left this area and moved out to the coast, they did leave behind friends. They still
Yeah.
kept in contact and tried to visit when possible, but it's not like just dropping next door or seeing all of your friends at work every day. Like there is actually a big change there in retirement that is not spoken about as often as it should be, where people have a longing for that social interaction. And there's actually even a higher prevalency of depression in retirement in somewhat attributable to without that social
Right.
circle. So again, where they were at being very remote, and think about this, you've got to establish new friendships, you got to make new connections, you got to find new activities, and there are certainly things that we can do to keep ourselves occupied, but a lot of our contentment does come from the interactions with others, even for hermits and loners. There is some element of that. So you can't be alone for too long. And again, when my mom moved down into her new community much tighter knit, many more people. They got involved with the different associations and clubs and organizations and have activities all the time.
Hmm.
And what they left behind with the dream home that they had sort of built, they're finding that they are much more content having
Right.
that social network and circles and activities and things that they can go out and do each and every day that involves others.
Right, right. All
Yep.
right. Number four, we have, of course, tax implications. There are reasons a lot of people retire to Florida.
There are reasons indeed. And Florida is not the only place. No state income tax is a good thing. And North Carolina doesn't tax Social Security benefits at the state level. So we've got a little bit of that here, but no income tax on one hand. But is that offset in other areas? Are property values higher? Or is home insurance higher? And certainly is down in Florida where they get hit by storms. Are homeowners association dues much higher? Yes, they are down in Florida. They've passed laws where the homeowners association basically has to keep a piggy bank to cover all potential damage caused by a storm, and it's caused those homeowner association dues just to skyrocket, as well as the insurance costs. So where you get something on one hand, are you giving something up that is of equal or greater value in the other hand, right? You've got to weigh all the costs. And I know that we hate paying taxes, and we may pay $2 somewhere else just to save $1 in taxes. I've seen it done many, many times, but mathematically, that's not the best solution. So you really need to kind of include and account for all costs and expenses. Don't just look at the tax situation as being the end all be all of the decision of where to
Right.
relocate.
Right. None of this happens in a vacuum. Good point. And last, of course, you need to consider climate and lifestyle preference.
Yeah, I mean, do you like the mountains? Do you like the coast? Would you like to be closer to relatives? Are they somewhere that doesn't have mountains or coast? You could be in an ideal kind of home, but if that home is in the wrong location for you, you might not find your contentment. If you are a cold weather person and you move down south, might be a little too much sweat for you. Vice versa, you go up north, it might be a little too much snow. Who knows? But you've got to consider what the climate is like, and what you find conducive to your desires and your lifestyle. And ultimately, that's going to be factored in along with the price, right? The cost is not the only consideration. It's an important consideration, but certainly not the only consideration to make here. You've got to find a place, a location that suits your personal preferences.
Right. Quality of life.
And by the way, don't follow kids around. I had a very good friend who moved to Charlotte. Mom moved along with him to follow the kids, and more realistically, to follow the grandkids. Well, as soon as she got settled down there, they accepted a job up in Chicago. She moved back and basically had to do a turnaround move within a 18 to 24-month period. Moving
Mm,
is expensive. So don't
mhm.
necessarily follow the kids, because the kids and the grandkids are at a stage in life where things can change much more rapidly than you are in retirement. You might feel like you're settling in retirement, but the kids may be at the point where they are bouncing from job opportunity to
Right.
job
Right. Right.
opportunity to advance their career. So don't make that the only consideration either.
Right. So many points to talk through, Peter. If somebody would like your help crunching the numbers and talking it through to see if a move is right for them, how can they reach you?
Yeah, and I certainly help crunch the numbers. My responsibility for my clients is helping them manage the numbers and the money, but that's
Right.
got to fit into your lifestyle, because the money is not the only part of your total picture for
Mhm.
retirement, or even your total financial picture. So give me a call. We'll talk through a comprehensive, holistic plan. We call it the optimized retirement plan, and make sure that it makes sense to you. 919-300-5886 is the number to call. 919-300-5886. No cost, by the way, for that conversation and to
Right.
get that plan in your hands. No obligation. It's just a chance for you to sort of put that down and talk about your goals, your aspirations, your desire, what you envision for retirement, and make sure that you are on the right track. So give me a call for that optimized retirement plan. 919-300-5886, or you can go online. The website is rashawnplanning.com. It looks like rich on planning.com, but it's my last name, Rashawn. You can also email me, peter@rashawnplanning.com.
All right, Peter, thank you.
Always a pleasure, Aaron. Thank you. Hey everyone, Peter Rashan here. Hope you enjoy the content. As always, make sure that you like, subscribe, share the videos with others that may find this information helpful. And as always, you're welcome to be in touch or to submit questions or comments. You can comment below the video anything that you'd like to see or hear shared on our YouTube channel and in future videos. If you got a topic that you've been thinking about or is of concern for you financially, be sure to let us know. We'd love to help you by discussing it on the channel. So appreciate the continued views and the likes and the subscribes, the shares, the comments, always helpful. We look forward to getting you the information that you need.
This has been Planning Matters Radio.
The content of this radio show is provided for informational purposes only and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. You are encouraged to seek investment, tax, or legal advice from an independent professional advisor. Any investments and/or investment strategies mentioned involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services offered through Brookzone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.